In November of 2018, this community and others nearby were nearly totally wiped out by one of the worst wildfires in California history, the Camp Fire. For Charles Brooks and his family, life changed forever that day. Whoa, this is it, huh?
Yep, this is the place.
So this was actually your plot of land, you and your wife and your kids?
Yep. Yeah, you're walking right past where our house was, and then this was kind of our back lawn and play area for the family, trampoline and a little stand-up swimming pool in the summertime.
Were you actually here when the fire was going, or had you escaped?
No, we were getting out of the house. It started early in the morning. I have a routine a couple days of the week of hiking in a canyon nearby. And while we were out there before the sun came up, we were all commenting about how this is really bad fire weather. We can't believe how many pine needles fell out of the sky the night before and just how hot and dry and windy it was for, the beginning of November. Normally we've had a couple rains by now. And my oldest boy, he comes up about 7:15 in the morning, says, "Dad, I smell smoke."
What then? What did you do?
And I went over to my neighbor's house and said, "Hey, I think we need to start thinking about getting out of here."
Yeah.
We talked for just a minute, and I turned around to leave his house, and that's when I heard it. It was like this low rumble that sounds like thunder off in the distance. It doesn't end. And everything in my body said, there's something wrong. And like my hair stood up, and then that's when a burning stick fell out of the sky and landed in front of my foot. And I was like, we're out of here.
Camp Fire, the fires of 2017 in Sonoma and Lake County. Yeah, it changed everybody's perspective in California. People have awakened and realized we have to start treating our forests and the vegetation to try to prevent these larger fires. Yes.
Hallelujah. Unlike a fire break that removes all vegetation, shaded fuel breaks leave some trees standing. The idea is to slow down a wildfire, giving firefighters more time to respond.
I felt personally connected with all the fires that came through. It was hard to watch something so close to home affect everyone so deeply, and if we would have been better taking care of the forest, that wouldn't have happened. That's what we're out here doing. I mean, there's so much fuel that's around the forest right now, and the logging, that's what takes care of it, so there is no fuel for the fires.
So this is a masticator, and basically what it does is chews up all the small material that we can't pick up with our skidders or our loaders. So we'll chew it up and incorporate it into the soil and go from there.
All right, let's go. Let's mount up. I feel like I'm getting into a space capsule here, man. You gonna send me to Mars with this thing?
Maybe so.
All right, Zane, you ready?
Oh, we're ready, yeah.
All right,
Go
well,
ahead.
let me get this puppy going. The masticator achieves two goals. The chopped up material is less flammable, and it provides nutrients to make the remaining trees healthier. How was I?
You're pretty good, Chuck. Made you a job.
Okay, put me to work, baby, put me to work. Well, you have been a proponent to rebuild this community. I know a lot of people have left this community and said, had enough, not gonna come back.
My wife and I talked about it. We're both kind of long-term planners, and we said, well, we're gonna rebuild our house. I'm confident we'll come back. Nature's already come back a year after the fire, and there's green and a ton of deer, a ton of animals, and so you can tell nature's coming back.
It can be resilient.
Yes.
It can be resilient. Welcome to Redwood Country. The redwood tree is a symbol of Northern California. And what amazes me is that these trees behind me are genetically identical to their parents, to their grandparents, even their great-grandparents, and going back tens of thousands of years. That's what I call a great lineage.
Redwoods are limited to Central California up to Southern Oregon, and the real limiting factor is the coastal fog belt.
Alicia Goldsworthy is a silviculturist. Her job is to manage the health of this redwood stand.
Redwood's really amazing. It can take water in at night, and it can take water in during the day, and it almost has no dormancy season, so it's always growing.
Timber companies have committed to leaving all old growth stands intact and have moved to a new way of logging redwoods. That new approach is to remove only a handful of trees, leaving behind a better habitat for those that remain.
We thin so that we can maintain the health and productivity of our redwood trees. We don't want our trees slowing down and being susceptible to disease or insect attacks. And we also want to maintain, a good rate of growth.
So basically, we're talking about bigger, stronger, faster after a thinning like this.
That's correct.
All right, one of my favorite things to do, let's go plant some trees. Private landowners have pledged to plant 5 new trees for every one they cut down. The goal is to keep these forests here forever.
Forestry is a long-term business. We're going for the long game. And so we're not looking 1 or 2 years, we're looking generations down the road. So we have what was given to us, and we want to make sure we leave it in as good or better condition than we received it in.
Everybody uses the term sustainability and sustainable, and I think it gets a little overused. We like the term perpetual. We're standing in a third growth forest. And so rather than sustainable, if you think about these forests as perpetual.
Love it. I like that word perpetual. That's fantastic. Trees. My wife Rose Lane and I will never give up our Georgia pines, but we have to admit these California redwoods have gotten under our skin. 900 years old.
Sun is shining through the woods.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
I feel optimistic knowing that Californians are committed to preserving the redwoods. It's simply amazing to walk under these colossal ancient trees. And it's a joy to know that wise decisions today mean they will still be here hundreds of years in the future. Here's an equation you probably haven't thought of. Wood equals electricity. It's called biomass, and it's a form of energy that is both renewable and carbon neutral. So, what exactly is biomass? Well, the best way to understand is to get a tour of a facility like this one, run by Sierra Pacific Industries. This mill turns raw logs into lumber used in construction. But instead of throwing the waste chips away, they transform it into fuel.
So what you see here, you got chips coming out over here. This is what we call hog fuel.
Shane Young is the plant manager. Well, Shane, what's fascinating to me is that you're milling lumber, to make houses and offices and renovations and whatnot. And then, of course, this fuel that creates how much electricity?
This plant can produce 30 megawatts of power, which is enough to power 30,000 homes here in California.
30,000 homes.
That's right.
That's just fantastic.
That's right.
And nothing goes to waste, right?
Nothing goes to waste. Everything from the tree creating lumber and fiber products is 100% used and 100% renewable.
You gotta love that, man. The chips are loaded onto a massive conveyor belt that brings them up to the burner.
So if you look inside here.
Oh yeah, wow. Oh, look at that. And what's the temperature in that box?
982 degrees.
Ooh, that's hot, baby.
It's hot in there.
We climbed up to the command center at the heart of the facility. I'll have to tell Rose Lane I got my steps in for the day. Oh, that was quite a trek to the top of the facility, man.
That's a workout.
Wow, Shane, this is like NASA Control Center here. Now tell me what we're looking at with these monitors.
All these monitors are controlling the entire operation of the facility. Everything from the water pressure, steam pressure, and then of course the turbine generator that is monitoring our power. And this is our firebox right here.
Looks like it's popping, baby.
Yeah, she's cooking good. What we're looking for is a nice straight line, which you see there, and that's what we're looking for in this boiler is good combustion. We want all the fuel to be burnt, and what comes out of it is a very minimal amount of what we call fly ash.
But biomass has its detractors. Those who are concerned about the amount of carbon dioxide emitted when the wood waste is burned.
We have to report that to EPA on our air quality on a monthly basis, and it is very important for what we do. This is a very efficient burning boiler, probably one of the more efficient burning boilers in the country, and one of the cleanest burning boilers in the country from an emission standpoint.
Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll join us on the next episode of America's Forests with me, Chuck Leavell. In the meantime, enjoy the woods and enjoy the music.